And believe it or not, I still don't have a prediction. I know 2 or 3 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I sat here. 2 or 3 weeks ago, I sat here and said Woodbury's got Group 1 locked up. No problem. One problem. Well, the only problem was I didn't see the Clayton-Gloucester game at that time. I don't know how to call this game. Can Robert Marshall gain 200 yards against the Woodbury defense?
No.
Can he get outside against the Woodbury speed?
Once in a while. Marshall's fast, yeah. Keep in mind, it's not Robert Marshall against the world either. DeFrance is a good quarterback. Hess is a very good tight end. And the day I saw them, they had a pretty good defensive line. In my mind, Woodbury is the champion until somebody beats them. There's a little edge of quality about Woodbury. The game's also at Woodbury. The Woodbury kids know how to win. They know what they're doing. With the case of Clayton, maybe Clayton's just happy to be there. They beat Gloucester because that was a revenge factor, almost a personal thing, because the Gloucester players have been out for Marshall in the first game. I'm going to stick with Woodbury in this, and I'm going to say it's going to be 20-8. It'll be a routine, straightforward Woodbury victory.
Okay, let's talk about this game.
What's your pick?
I'm going to get into it. Well, geez, let me get into it. Here's what I was told. Woodbury can be passed on. I heard Florence passed on Woodbury. Woodbury can be passed on.
Fair point.
If Woodbury keys on Marshall,
fair point.
DeFrance to Hess. And I'm telling you, Joe Hess is the most underrated receiver in South Jersey. And I'll tell you what, the Inquirer will get a nice little letter if he's not on the old South Jersey first team. I guess we'll find out next week when you come out with your team.
I know who's going to be on the team.
You might be getting a letter. Save me a stamp. I'll give it to you on a Thursday if he's not there. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to tell you I don't know. But I like your thought that, Woodbury's been there 4 years. So I like it 21-20, a little closer. I like Woodbury.
I think Woodbury will win the game by a solid margin.
Finally, we're not going to talk about the opponents last week. Holy Cross, Holy Spirit, we both knew they were going to be there. We have 1 minute. Analyze this because I like Holy Cross.
I do too. Holy Cross is better at running the ball than anybody I've seen all year. They are as good at passing the ball as anybody I've seen except Cherry Hill East. Their line is as big as Penn State's offensive line. Holy Spirit is a well-balanced team. The game is at Holy Spirit. It's going to be 7 o'clock Saturday night.
Yeah, thanks, Don, because
there'll be 10,000 people there, so go early. It's bingo night at Holy Spirit.
Ooh.
The parking lot will be jammed.
My bingo fans remember me.
I believe that Holy Cross from Burlington County will win this game on the order of 21-10.
I like that. I like that.
Holy Cross also has one of the best kickers around in Brad Costello. Holy Cross can do it all. And we're going to see if Greg Lazinski can coach in the big game.
Okay, Don, thank you very much. That about wraps it up. Just a reminder, we'll be doing the Clayton-Woodbury game. That'll be on next week here on Channel 5, probably like Monday and Wednesday. We'll have the exact times in the paper. For Don McKay, I'm John Mondelli. Don't forget, tune in next week. We'll have our All-Star Teams Coach of the Year and, of course, Don's final top 10 in high school football. We'll see you next week.
Firsts. The Clippers look to continue their amazing run to a Group 1 championship for the first time in playoff history. They've won 7 in a row, topped off by an outstanding victory in the opening round, 37-6 over Gloucester, avenging an early season blowout loss to the Lions. Today they will follow the lead of their tremendous running back, Robert Marshall. He's the leading ground gainer in South Jersey history. No surprise to South Jersey football fans, the Clipper opponent in this Group 1 final, the Thundering Herd of Woodbury High School. The Herd comes into today's game looking to gain their 4th consecutive Group 1 title. They've lost but once this year and top things off with an exciting 35-28 double overtime victory over previously undefeated Florence up in the pit. Woodbury does it with a balanced attack. Shannon Green, Joanne Fortson, Milton Dean, and Todd Jones. Today, the experienced ones against the new guys on the block. It's the Heritage's pregame report from Woodbury High School. Today's game, the South Jersey Group 1 final between Woodbury and Clayton. Hi again, everybody. Mike Linder along with Bob Shryock, and I'll tell you what, we're down at the end. It's all started back September 1, an awful lot of excitement in the air, but first thing we got to talk about, Bob, is the weather. What a great day. This is going to be the kind of game, weather-wise, that says neither team has an advantage, and that's just the way it should be for this an exciting contest between Clayton and Woodbury.
Mid-50s, Mike, about 40 degrees warmer than it was when we were here a couple of years ago with Woodbury and Paulsboro. No wind factor at all, but I was on the field before the game, Mike. The field is muddy in certain areas, particularly at the eastern goalpost, and it will affect perhaps extra point kicks. Woodbury kicks extra points and kicks field goals. Clayton has no kicker, so it could be a bit of a factor there. It's going to be real sloppy when there's play at the goal line inside the 5-yard line. Otherwise, things look great.
And of course, when we talk about kicking or running or throwing the ball for extra points, that infers that there's going to be a lot of scoring today, and everybody coming out anticipates that. The first reason is on the Clayton side of the football. What are you going to do when you talk about a guy like Robert Marshall? You run out of adjectives.
Well, Mike, he certainly ranks with the best we've ever seen on Channel 5, no question about that, and he'll be tested today. I don't expect him to get 244 yards as he did against Gloucester in a magnificent performance last week. I do think he'll get his yards. I think he's going to be hit more often, more frequently by this Woodbury team. Woodbury is not as good a defensive football team as they have been in other years during this run, winning 3 championships in a row, but they're still a good football team. They know that what they have to do is pop Marshall 2, 3, 4 times in every play.
And it's not, of course, just Marshall. Keith DeFrance and Joe Hess on the passing side of the ball really make things look exciting for the Clippers also. The other side, though, may be a real defensive test for Clayton because Woodbury has such a balanced attack.
Very balanced. It's a kind of attack, Mike, where you seldom see a back run the ball more than 8 or 10 times a game, unlike Marshall, who probably will carry 20 to 25 today. There is one key factor, as we heard Jim Boyd, of course, indicating that Shannon Green will not be able to play offense today. Probably will play defense only, and that could be a factor because he is the biggest breakaway threat for the Woodbury team. So if he's not on offense, I think the Woodbury offense obviously will suffer. However, they do have that great backfield depth.
It'll be interesting to note when you have 2 great offensive teams come along, whether or not it'll turn into like a defensive struggle. That's happened in the past. The other thing about today's game is both teams come off emotional victories a week ago, although score-wise, they were different.
Certainly were. Clayton blew out Gloucester, which nobody expected. It was one-sided really from the middle of the second period on, Mike. On the other hand, Woodbury really had to go all out to defeat Florence in double overtime. And we've never seen one of those, I don't think, on Channel 5, but that was a great victory for Woodbury, which kind of blew a big fourth-period lead, then got a field goal blocked by Chuck Kirby that allowed them to score the winning points, and that was against one of the better kickers in South Jersey. So Woodbury really was pressed a lot more, obviously, than Clayton was last week.
All right, a lot of emotion in this game. First time for the Clippers. Woodbury, of course, looking for their 4th straight Group 1 championship. We'll have a chance for Bob to talk to the coaches after we come back and bring you more on the Heritage's pregame report. Pre-game report from Woodbury High School. Now down on the field, our Bob Shryock is with the Clayton head coach, Jim Barron. Bob?
Thanks very much, Mike. Jim Barron, great weather today, and I think we're blessed. You remember the game a couple of years ago, as I do, Paulsboro and Woodbury for this championship when you were an assistant at Paulsboro. Have you ever experienced a colder day than that one?
No, Bob. That was the coldest I've ever been at a football game, and today's just great. Nice day.
Okay, Jim, let's talk a little bit about this football game. Most people anticipate a high-scoring game, a couple of offenses on a roll. Do you look for that kind of a game, or might the defenses prevail today?
I think the defenses might do the job today. Both defenses have been playing tough. Woodbury don't give up any points, and we've been playing better and better, so, whatever happens is going to happen.
Now, you don't see many teams quite as quick as Woodbury in the Tri-County. I know Salem is a very quick football team. Will this be the quickest team you've seen?
Probably overall with team speed. They have speed throughout their lineup, and I think it will be the quickest team we'll see.
What is it going to take for Clayton to knock off Woodbury today, Jim?
I just think a solid effort. We can't make any turnovers, and I think that's going to be the key right there.
If your defense plays as well as it did against Gloucester last week, and it was magnificent, that could be a factor in the football game.
I definitely think it will. If we play the way we're capable of playing, I think we'll hopefully we'll come out ahead.
Right. Rob Marshall winding up a magnificent career today, Jim, no question about that. Is he as good a back as you've ever seen in South Jersey?
Yeah, he's one of the best I ever seen, and I just like watching him run the ball. That's why I try to get the ball to him as much as possible.
He'll get it a lot today, won't he?
Hopefully, yes.
Jim, congratulations on your great season. Good luck today.
Thank you, Bob.
Okay, thank you. Jim Barron. Back to you, Mike.
An excited head coach. It doesn't show it the way he stands there and talks so calmly to our Bob Schreck. But Jim Barron, let's face it, this is the pinnacle for this guy who came to Clayton just 3 seasons ago. He's got his team here today in the final round of the South Jersey Group 1 championship play. Bob Schreck is getting ready now to talk to Coach Jim Boyd, and we'll have those comments.
Thank you very much, Mike. Jim Boyd is with me now. Jim, you're going to be seeing the most successful back in South Jersey history. In terms of yards gained today, Rob Marshall of Clayton, he's had a tremendous career. What does it take to stop a guy like this, Jim?
Well, what it takes is team defense. You've got to defend the whole field against him. And when he starts to run those sweeps, our strong safety and corner is going to have to come up quickly to support the corner. And then the rest of the defense has to be in their pursuit route so that he's not able to cut back, because, you know, if the corner's taken away, he's a fine athlete, and he has the ability to turn it back to the inside.
Can you compare him to any other back you've seen in recent years in South Jersey, Jim?
More on the, well, he has, you know, the size of the fellow from Florence that we played last week, Stillings. And he has the quickness of the back that we had last year, Eddie Walker. Might not be quite as fast as Eddie, but he can step pretty good. And, you know, you put those two things together, the size and the speed he has, and that spells good running back.
A vital component of your win over Florence last week, Jim, was your ability to contain Stillings to some degree.
Well, I hope we can get that kind of defensive effort again today. And then if we do, we have another concern with their team, and that's their wide receiver Hess, who can line up as a tight end or a flanker or a wing. And he seems to find his way into the secondary, and he's hurt teams throughout the season for Clayton, and their quarterback does a good job delivering the ball to him.
Jim, some feel the edge goes to Woodbury because of experience. You've been here so many times looking for number 4 in a row today. Do you think that experience factor is a key component?
Well, you have two football teams in a championship game, and I don't know anything about edges or advantages or anything else. All I know is we're just going to line up and do our best job, you know, try and do our best job to play a good football game.
You had 2 key players hurt last week, Jones and Green. How are they?
I wouldn't say they're 100%. Probably more in the neighborhood of 90, 95%. And we're hoping that Todd can go fullback today. And I think we're going to use Shannon on defense. I don't think he's going to play offensively.
Jim, good luck to you today.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mike, back to you.
And we'll come right back with the starting lineups for today's game after these words. Announcer Bill Dixon for the starting lineups in today's game.
At split end, senior number 89, Joe Hess. At left tackle, senior number 53, Larry Wyman. At left guard, senior number 56, Seth Dahl. At center, sophomore, number 55, Ralph Dye. At right guard, senior number 64, Nick Bompenza. At right tackle, senior number 77, Sean Newland. At tight end, senior number 28, Keenan Colburn. At tight end, senior number 82, Scott Castrava. At quarterback, senior number 13, Keith DeFrance. At tailback, senior number 32, Robert Marshall. At fullback, senior number 48, BC Anue. Head coach of the Clippers is Coach Jim Barron. Ladies and gentlemen, and the rest of the Clayton Clippers. The home team for the Colonial Conference. They ended the regular conference season with a record of 8 wins, 1 loss, and no ties, earning second place honors in the Colonial Conference. They're awarded the number 3 seed in South Jersey Group 1. In the opening round of the playoffs, they traveled to Florence High School and defeated the Flashes in double overtime, 35-28. That victory earned them the right to play in this championship game here today. Ladies and gentlemen, with an overall record of 9 wins, 1 loss, and no ties, please welcome the 3-time defending South Jersey Group 1 state football champions, Woodbury High School's Thundering Herd. And now here's the starting offensive unit for the Thundering Herd. At wide receiver, senior number 36, Gary Wade. At tackle, senior number 78, Jeff Brook. At left guard, senior number 75, Adam Fox. At center, senior number 55, Mike Jurgovich. At right guard, senior number 73, Brian Thornton. At right tackle, senior number 72, George Thornton.
Uncle Max and new Resolve Spot Magic.
At tight end, senior number 86, Chuck Kirby. At quarterback, senior number 8, Milt Dean. At halfback, senior number 10, Juwan Forts. At tailback, senior number 9, Shannon Green. At fullback, senior number 37, Todd Jones. Head coach of the Herd is Coach Jim Boyd. Superintendent of Woodbury School System is Dr. Craig Barry. Woodbury High School Principal is Mr. John Gamble. And Director of Athletics is Mr. Tony Gadecka.
Lineups. The starting lineups have been introduced. Everybody is ready. There's a big crowd on hand. We'll be back with all the game action after these messages. Storer Cable Communications presents the South Jersey Group 1 final from Woodbury High School, the Clippers of Clayton High School, the Thundering Herd of Woodbury High School. Again, everybody, Mike Linder along with Bob Shryak. Bob, I have a feeling this is going to be a good one. A couple of fine teams. Clayton on a great roll, and Woodbury, what else do you have to say? It's the South Jersey Group 1 final. They're here, of course.
Clayton's roll is 7 in a row, Mike. Woodbury has won 3 consecutive group championships. Mike, Gloucester County continues to dominate Group 1 in South Jersey. Gloucester County teams have won 11 out of 12. They're going to make it 12 out of 13 today. 5 for Paulsboro, 3 for Glassboro, and 3 for Woodbury, which today has a chance to become the first team ever to win 4 consecutive sectional championships. Rob Marshall, the great all-South Jersey back, kicking off for Clayton. The deep man in the middle for Woodbury is the quarterback, Milton Dean. We are underway, and Dean will give way to Gary Wade at the 15-yard line. Wade right up the middle through the wedge. And a pretty good return by the Thundering Herd out to the 32-yard line. That's where we'll start the first possession of the football game. Woodbury offense, quarterback Milt Dean. The fullback Todd Jones, Shannon Green, Juwan Fortson, the running backs, Gary Wade, the wide receiver. Robert Long plays the tight end position. Mike Jurgovich, great center for Woodbury. Adam Fox, Brian Thornton, the guards. Jeff Brook, George Thornton, the tackles. Woodbury out of that familiar wishbone offense, starting from their 32 with Dean at quarterback. And the handoff, very little doing for Juwan Fortson. Gets a couple off to about the 35. Don't underestimate this Clayton defense. It's a good one. Now the Clayton defense. Ralph Dye is the nose guard. The tackles, Len Smith, Sean Newland. Mark Bell, Brian McRae, the defensive ends. In the secondary for Clayton, the linebackers, Ralph Palazzo, Steve Puglia, Scott Kostrava, Keenan Colburn, the quarterbacks. Broken ball into France, the safeties. Right up the middle and breaking loose, and first down pickup for Rodney Dean. Rodney Dean with a good carry up to the 47-yard line. Woodbury has the first down of the football game.
Bob, coming into this game for Clayton, people were asking me about it all week long, and I kind of felt the key for the Clayton defense is going to be stopping the fullback from Woodbury in the middle. It appeared that Clayton would defense to the outside, as so many teams have done, forgetting that Woodbury has that powerful, quick trapping game inside, as you saw in that play.
Right up the middle, nothing doing. The middle of the Clayton line doing the job, led by the play of number 55, Steve Dye. How about that for a differential? The average rate of the offensive line, 235 for Woodbury. The Thornton cousins, a big reason for that. Clayton 207, but a 28-pound Clayton disadvantage. 1 yard loss back to the 46, and Shannon Green, Mike, is not playing. As Jim Boyd told us, Shannon Green, the greatest breakaway threat, injured against Florence, doesn't have his shoulder pads on the sidelines. Second back through, big hole for Gary Wade. He is close to the first down inside Clayton territory to the 44.
They're going to have to solve it. You can't do it with just straight-ahead play. The linebackers, of course, they're in a six-man front now, Bob, with but one linebacker. They went to that 2 games ago. As we take a look at Green, who has to be a loss to Woodbury, but not so far in this drive. But the Clippers, with that one defensive linebacker, can hurt themselves. They've got to find the second and third move man on the wishbone offense.
3rd and 1 call at the 44. Option right, and Woodbury will have the first down at about the 42-yard line on a carry again by Rodney Dean. So Dean gets it down to the 43. It'll be first down and 10, so Woodbury with consecutive first downs on the first possession of the ball game. 9:23 to play. Mike, one of the things, they're going to measure this, one of the things obviously Woodbury wants to do is control the football, keep the ball away from Rob Marshall. It is a first down, and Woodbury will have a first down at the 43-yard line.
Yeah, that would not be a bad idea, would it? Keep Marshall off the field. And Woodbury, I kind of think, though, Bob, is playing Woodbury football. They're not playing against Clayton. They're just coming out and playing Woodbury football. They've been here so many times. They've won that championship 3 times in a row. They say it's ours till somebody takes it from us.
Second back through. Oh, what a great defensive play by Steve Puglia of Clayton, right in the middle of the line with some help on the play from Len Smith, but a big play by Puglia. No gain on the play, second down and 10.
Well, 5'7", 143 pounds, and you already know the size of the line on the offensive side. How does number 10 get through there? Clayton does a lot of sliding left or right, Bob, trying to find the gap and get in there without being blocked, as Puglia did that time.
Wade, big hole. Wade slips a tackle. He gets good yardage about the 37. Mike, today we are seeing one of the reasons Woodbury has been so successful, and that is tremendous backfield depth. We see Green on the sideline. Todd Jones is not in the football game. Both of them hurt against Florence. So what happens to replacements doing the job on this first drive?
You know, and as good as they've been over the years, Bob, it seems like one group comes, one group goes. There's another group behind them. It just keeps right on going here in the city of Woodbury.
3rd down and 6. Big play defensively for Clayton as Woodbury tries to keep possession of the football. Option left, first back through. Fortune breaks a tackle and appears to have another first down. Excuse me, that was Rodney Dean breaking a tackle. Gets the ball to the 32, and they're going to apparently bring the chains in again. It is close.
Jim Daly, the referee, is taking no chances. This is South Jersey final, a big win, of course, and says we're going to be absolutely sure every time. Bob, that was second effort on Dean's part. The Clippers had him stop. Watch where, after the initial hit, he just keeps his momentum going forward. 1, 2, and then he gets downfield, takes 4 men finally to hit him. Newland coming up with the final tackle.
7:49 to play in the first period, and already Woodbury has run off 3 first downs and more than 4 minutes on the clock.
All right, Bob, let me tell you right now, the outside on the option is open. The defensive ends have been seeing all this inside action. They've been coming in a little too tight. If he can run that option the outside, he's got big yardage.
At the handoff straight ahead, and Fortson is hit and drilled with no gain, maybe lost a little bit on the play. Keith DeFrance, a great quarterback, makes part of the tackle along with Scott Castrava, but they had plenty of help in the middle. No gain, 2nd and 10.
Now, DeFrance, you saw how quickly he closed down from the outside corner, Bob. He's the man that has to watch the option pitch. But now, number 13, DeFrance, has seen it over and over again. Inside, inside, inside. On the other side, you got Broken Ball, number 8, who has to worry about that. Castrava steps into the slot. I'm telling you, the play to run from the double wing here will be pretty tough, but would be the option.
2nd down and 10. Straight ahead. Deep, big hole. Almost breaks it. Tripped up by Keenan Colburn, or Dean might have been in the end zone now with a touchdown. His advance to the 24. And Rodney Dean, one of the backfield replacements, only a junior, with a big contribution on his first drive to the 24. 3rd down and 3 for the Thundering Herd.
Yeah, their big hole so far has been off that right side, Bob. They're just taking number 53, is that Wyman out there, and taking him anywhere they want him. Every big gain for them, except for that play before this one to the left tackle, has been off the right side where just Thornton's blocking. Newland, Smith, and Wyman are finding out what it's like to have 600 pounds come at you. There it is again.
Down 3. Dean with the carry. Dean breaks loose and almost gets into the end zone. Dragging with him Nick Bontempo, who saves the touchdown. But what a job by Rodney Dean on this drive. Woodbury with a 1st down and goal right at the 5-yard line.
Thornton and Thornton, the reason for this success of this drive. They are doing a number on those 3 defensive linemen and just moving them out of there. Smith and Newland and Wyman are just having no opportunity at the line of scrimmage.
1st and goal. Big hole, Wade! Is he in? He's close. Gary Wade is close.
About the 3-yard line, maybe.
So it's 2nd down and goal at the 4-yard line.
Well, I guess you don't need that option if you got the 2 big guys up front just plowing forward, huh? And credit Boyd and staff. They said, what are we going to try anything else for? We've got a hole all the way down the field over right tackle. Just keep going there.
Wade, Fortson, and Dean all have made big runs on this drive. 2nd and goal at the 4. Straight ahead. Dean with the carry. Gets to about the 1-yard line. This has been a textbook drive by Woodbury. 5:20 to play in the first period, so Woodbury already has used almost 7 minutes on this drive.
Well, they're sending the play in from the sideline, but I think we could all give the hand signal, couldn't we? Doesn't it have to be right tackle?
I would think. 3rd down and goal. It's Wade, Fortson, and Dean behind the quarterback, Milton Dean.
Oh, the other way.
Look at the left side and into the end zone, I believe, or is it?
No.
No?
6 inches shy, huh?
That was Fortson. Now it's a touchdown.
They changed it. Indicated he fumbled the ball into the end zone, I guess. It looks as if he fumbled the ball into the end zone. The original play, Bob, was blown dead at the 1-foot line. The ball was loose in the end zone. We'll have to wait and see what the official was as far as the touchdown. When we get to a replay, perhaps we'll see it. Went across left tackle, fumbled the ball, a mark from both linemen said 1-foot line, and then the ball's loose in the end zone, they signal touchdown.
Adam Fox tries to make it 7-0. It's blocked. It is blocked. Larry Wyman rushing through for the clean block on Fox's extra point kick. So at 4:49 of the first period, Woodbury, thrice defending champion in Group 1, jumps on top. Heritage scoreboard showing it 6-0 Woodbury. We'll be back.
Super drive by Woodbury, 7-11 for that drive. 15 plays, 67 yards, topped off by the Gary Wade recovery in the end zone of the fumble for the touchdown. Bob?
Freshman Mike Murphy kicking off for Woodbury. Rob Marshall deep for the Clippers of Clayton High School, flanked by Steve Pulley on one side and Nick Brokenball on the other. So Clayton will have its first chance offensively in the football game. Bad kick by Murphy, a short one taken at the 31-yard line by DeFrance. DeFrance picking his way, and Clayton has excellent field position at the 44-yard line. Excellent work on that drive by
Rodney Dean for Woodbury. 7 carries, 48 yards. Now the Clayton offense keeps DeFrance the quarterback. Enue, the fullback. Robert Marshall, the running back. Keenan Colburn, tight end. Wide receivers has some broken ball. And on the offensive line, Dye at center. The guards are Dahl and Colazo, Wyman, and Newland, the tackles.